Hi everyone, Helena and Megan here from Emerge Mentoring, and we are at Gage Park sharing our first IGTV with you since we've been back from our Discover Ontario yoga tour.
Yeah, we started to take our meetings outside more, especially because the weather's so nice, and being away for our week on the tour really gave us a lot of inspiration as to how many beautiful places and spaces there are that we want to take our meetings to and spend more time in.
Yeah, so our IGTV today is going to be about sort of just like redefining what it means to be an entrepreneur. Like there's kind of this, bias or a bit of a stereotype about what being productive looks like as an entrepreneur. And I think during these circumstances, Megan and I are finding ways to creatively redefine that.
Yes, so I found that when we move into the warmer season, this has been us for the past couple of years, our schedules really change and adjust because we find a lot of value creatively and also just within ourselves when we're outside. And so we make sure that we try to have afternoons carved out for a little more play, a little more creativity, and also when we can take content photos because it's probably the best light of the day anyways.
Yeah, so we usually find ourselves waking up a little bit earlier to either get like our workout in or whether or not we're teaching a yoga class first thing in the morning, and then work usually till around outdoor elements. You can't control them. So we usually find ourselves working till like 1-ish or 2 in the afternoon, and then we're scouting out a spot to either go for a quick hour hike or hit up a beach for a few hours. And then by 7, we're back at our computers finishing up the day's work. I even find when we're hanging out together creatively, a lot of our conversation and dialogue is about planning or creating inspiring ideas for what our next goal or vision is. So it's still like a productive use of time, even if we're not sitting at a desk in front of a computer.
Like a couple years ago, we used to have meetings every Friday afternoon. And when the warmer weather came, we were like, let's just change it to have those meetings midweek. And now we always have our Fridays clear, whether we spend time together or whether we spend time separately. But it just really is nice to plan out your week and know that we have that whole day free to either spend together or just even like leave early for a trip or something.
Yeah, and there's nothing like when we were having those Friday meetings that would go till 2 or 3 in the afternoon, sometimes even 4, that we started sort of resenting that time, and then we started end up finding ourselves on a patio anyways. So it's like just restructuring your week, because being an entrepreneur, you have the flexibility to do that. Yes, there's going to be days when things are like demand your attention or require your attention right away. But if there are certain things that you can control or shift around, making sure you do that. And we were also talking about how restructuring your life as an entrepreneur, especially during COVID, we've found that shifting a lot of our businesses online has allowed us to even be more flexible with the schedule.
Yeah, it's a lot of a trade-off I've found, and especially because we've had to do so much more online, there's way more screen time attached to that. Like I'm wearing my blue light glasses as often as I can just to help. But that's what makes this time outside so sacred and important, just because I feel physically healthier as well, because then when we get home, then we're back on the screens. And I think it's part of the trade-off of being able to be outside and have fun and not have to be stuck in an office and not have to be stuck to a 9 to 5 is like, I think it's important that we remember that that's why we do this work, and that even on the hard days when we're putting out fires or we're really stressed or things aren't going our way, that we have the opportunity to wake up early or stay up late so that we can enjoy, beaches or parks or hikes.
Yeah, and especially being entrepreneurs in the health and wellness industry, perhaps this will resonate with you or land with you. I think it's really important that we're also promoting and showing a healthy lifestyle. Because without it, how can we continue to do the work that we want to do if we're not putting ourselves in those positions? So being the example of what you hope your clients can achieve for themselves too. So making space and time to go for walks, go for hikes, be outside more often.
Yeah, like even pre-COVID and even like the past few years when I was learning a lot more about owning a business and working online, it was kind of looked up to be hustling and grinding 24 hours and to be always on your phone and always working and
you still do that.
Yeah, but just in a different way. Like you were celebrated to be like, to never have fun basically and always be on your business. And I think post-COVID and now we've really found it more important to find that balance, because when you hit burnout, your business suffers and you suffer, and so how can we avoid burnout but still be hustling? And we have found a balance, and I think it's important that everyone knows it's possible.
I think a lot of other entrepreneurs or business owners can sort of relate with this as well. Something that I'm going through is, we've invested 7 years or however many years into your brick and mortar or your business, whether or not you're in fitness or, that shutdown time that happened to everyone. It just sort of was like the ladder that you were climbing for your business got ripped out from underneath you, and it's like, whoa, maybe that's not the most sustainable for our mental health and our own well-being. So it was the reminder that we do need to do things that take care of us so we can go back to our businesses feeling better as humans.
I agree. Like, COVID just makes us have to think and work in completely different ways, and we're put in situations and scenarios that we probably never thought of or dreamed of. And so that takes a lot more mental power and mental thought. And so the recharge time is important. And even just like an hour outside recharges you way more than you think. Like in comparison to, binging on a Netflix show for an hour, in comparison to going for a hike for an hour, there's definitely a difference in that charging time.
And I find what is really successful for Megan and myself is that we are productive in the sense is that we really do schedule out our whole day. Like hour to hour, sometimes even half an hour to half an hour. Like I already know that when Megan and I are done here at 5 p.m., Megan's going to do a workout, she's going to get trained, and I know that I'm going to go home and I'm going to start uploading content from the tour and finish a load of laundry from the tour before I have my next meeting at 7:30 tonight. So it's like I already know that time slot, I'm going to have a power hour to get so much done.
And it avoids like the guilt of any guilt that might come up, or people who aren't entrepreneurs or business owners who don't understand the flexibility that we have when they're like maybe assume, or you might feel the judgment that they don't think you're working. Like you've planned out that hour. Like we're here on purpose because we know that we have that power hour time and we have that time in the morning. So just if you pre-plan, it's really going to help with the guilt, because you know that you are getting in those set hours and you are checking off what needs to happen.
And they just look a little different. Like even on the tour, the itinerary was meticulously planned so we could fit in all of the different destinations. So on Instagram versus reality, it looked like we were just having a grand old time, which we were. Like you can have fun and be a busy entrepreneur at the same time, especially if the environment of people you're with is really great. That helps so much. But we were like hustling. We were go. And then even when we were sitting on those downtimes on the RV, we were either answering emails from clients, editing photos, uploading content, because there's just a lot of footage.
Yeah, I almost feel like I was more productive last week than on a normal week, because you sit down and you're like, I only have 30 minutes and these things have to get done. And so you work quicker, you're way more attentive, you're more focused. I wasn't answering texts from, friends or sisters like I would when I'm home. So I think that's something too I want to carry in to my schedule here, is that knowing that being busy doesn't necessarily mean I'm going to be more tired. It actually normally means I'm more productive.
Yeah, so I think if any other entrepreneurs out there understand or are already sort of working with this productive, flexible, creative entrepreneur schedule, let us know what you're doing, because it's a fun opportunity, especially if like our businesses are still kind of in a bit more of a downtime, even though we're working through pivots and we're working through different hustles and we're completely restructuring, which takes up its own capacity within itself. But are you taking advantage of this time? And what are you doing?
Yeah, we'd love to hear where you're working, what your favorite outdoor meeting spot is, because we want to come and steal them too.
Yeah. All right. Have a great day.